My child, stop right now, wherever you are. Do not scroll past this message. Heaven has set an invisible clock for this exact moment, and I could not wait another hour to give this to you. You feel weary. Your heart is heavy. The world is moving fast around you, but right now, I am pulling you into a quiet, sacred space where my voice can finally reach your spirit. You did not stumble upon this encounter by accident today. This moment was written in eternity before the foundations of the world were laid. And even though you thought you were just browsing through videos to distract your tired mind, my spirit was actively drawing you right here. Pause for a second and breathe. You need to listen closely to what I am about to speak into your life. Do not reject what I am placing into your hands today. So many times in your past, you turned away from good things because fear whispered that you were not worthy or that disappointment was waiting for you again. But I am telling you that this hour is different. If you walk away now, you risk leaving behind the very key that was designed to unlock your greatest season of freedom. I know the heavy load you have been carrying in secret. I have watched you in the midnight hours when sleep refused to come to your weary eyes. You turned over every unanswered question in your head, wondering if anyone truly saw your pain or if heaven had gone silent. And every single night, the weight seemed to grow heavier on your chest before the morning light even arrived. I saw the smile you wore like armor during the bright daylight hours. You put on a brave face to keep everyone else comfortable while your soul was quietly falling apart inside. You carried their burdens, listened to their problems, and poured out every drop of your energy to keep them standing. But when you needed someone to hold you, you found yourself standing completely alone in the dark. You have fought so hard for everyone around you. You gave your time, your finances, and your peace just to make sure they were safe. But who was fighting for you? I want you to know that I was watching every single sacrifice. Not a single tear you shed fell to the cold floor unnoticed, and every quiet cry of your heart was recorded in my presence. You wondered why the doors remained shut for so long when you worked so hard. You watched others move forward effortlessly while you felt stuck in an endless loop of struggle and exhaustion. And in those quiet moments, the enemy tried to convince you that you were forgotten, broken, and left behind. But that voice was a complete lie. What you called a season of painful delay was actually my hand protecting your future. I held back the harvest because the foundation beneath you was still being built. If I had handed you this blessing when you first asked for it, the weight of it would have crushed your fragile spirit. I was waiting until you were refined enough to hold what I am handing you today. I could not wait any longer to bring you this revelation today. My heart longed to pull you out of that suffocating furnace and show you what stands directly in front of you. The season of holding on by a thread is coming to a complete end. You have passed the hardest test, even though you did not even realize you were being tested in that deep wilderness. Look at your hands right now. You have held them in tight fists for years out of fear of losing what little you had left. You held tight to your strength, your resources, and your dignity because you felt that if you let go, everything would shatter into pieces. But a royal heir does not walk through life with clenched fists. I am asking you to lower your defenses right now in my presence. Release the tight knot of anxiety sitting in your stomach and let your shoulders drop. You do not need to fight this battle on your own strength anymore. The heavy armor you wore to protect yourself from betrayal can finally be taken off because I am taking full command of your story. Declare your amen right now if your heart is ready to receive what is coming. Say, "Yes, Lord," in the quiet space of your soul, and let my peace settle over your mind like a warm blanket. Something massive is shifting in the unseen realm at this exact second. The dark season of lack and confusion is breaking away right in front of your eyes. Hear me clearly as we step deeper into this encounter. I am about to unveil the exact reason why your doors were locked and what I have positioned right behind them for you. Do not rush away, for the answer you have sought in prayer for months will be laid plain before this message concludes. Stay with me, for your turnaround begins now. Let us step together into the quiet room of your memories today. I want to talk to you about the hour when the rest of the world was asleep, but your eyes remained wide open in the dark. You stared at the ceiling for hours while your mind raced with endless worries about tomorrow. And as the clock ticked past midnight, you felt a deep, cold ache in your chest that you could not explain to anyone. You turned over again and again on your bed. You tried to quiet your racing thoughts with all your willpower. You prayed, for just a few moments of peaceful rest, so you could wake up with strength for your daily struggles. But the darkness pressed down on your spirit with an unbearable weight, and every fearful scenario played out in your head like a movie that would never end. I saw every single tear that trickled down your cheek into your pillow during those lonely hours. You hid your tears because you did not want your family to see how fragile you felt inside. You were terrified that if you showed any weakness, your household would crumble under the pressure. So you buried your pain deep down, where no human eye could ever reach it. And then came the terrifying feeling of heaven going completely silent in your time of need. You lifted your trembling hands toward the sky and cried out for a sign, any sign, that I was listening to your voice. But all you heard in return was the cold echo of your own heavy sigh filling the empty room. You asked if you had done something wrong to lose my favor, or if I had simply moved far away from your life. That silence hurt your spirit deeper than any physical wound could ever hurt. You wondered why other people received quick answers while your petitions remained unanswered month after month. You looked at your clean hands and faithful heart, and you could not understand why the path before you remained so dark. You felt completely abandoned in a dry desert where nothing good could grow. Let me speak directly to the doors that slammed shut in your face when you needed a breakthrough the most. You prepared yourself with dedication. You put in the honest, hard work. You stepped forward with hope in your heart, believing that this opportunity would finally bring relief to your home. But right when you reached out your hand to take it, the door was locked tight before you could step inside. You walked back to your car in heavy silence. You swallowed the bitter lump in your throat while wiping a stray tear. You asked why every avenue of help closed down the moment you approached it with real faith. And the enemies sat on your shoulder, whispering that you were marked for failure and that good things were reserved only for other people. You began to internalize those lies until you believed them. I see the crushing fatigue that comes from being the sole pillar of strength for your family. Everyone comes running to you when they face a storm. They lean heavily on your shoulders, ask for guidance, and expect you to fix every broken situation. But when your own energy was completely drained, there was no one standing behind you to offer a helping hand or a soft place to fall. The financial pressure has been a dark shadow hanging over your home for far too long. You counted every dollar with shaking hands, wondering how you were going to cover the bills piling up on your table. You cut back on your own basic needs, went without comfort, and made quiet sacrifices just to ensure your family had food on their plates. You felt the cold shame of lack washing over your soul even though you worked until your body ached. You felt like a failure because you could not give them the comfortable life you dreamed of providing. And every time an unexpected expense arrived, your heart skipped a beat because your bank account was running close to zero. The constant stress made your stomach turn in knots every day. You carried the heavy roles of provider, protector, and comforter at the exact same time. You never allowed yourself the luxury of breaking down because too many people depended on your strength to survive. But inside your chest, you were screaming for someone to rescue you from the overwhelming currents of responsibility. You felt like you were swimming against a rising tide with exhausted arms. I want you to know that I never missed a single second of your silent endurance. While you were counting your last coins and wiping away your secret tears, I was standing right beside you in that quiet room. I was leaning close to your weary spirit, holding your heart gently in my hands so it would not break completely under the immense pressure of your circumstances. You thought I was far away because you could not feel my presence in the middle of your storm. But my silence was not my absence, my precious child. I was actively holding back forces that tried to destroy you when you were at your weakest point. If I had not been guarding your soul during those dark nights, the enemy would have swept away your faith long ago. Every closed door was a wall of divine protection built around your future. Every unanswered prayer was my loving hand stopping you from entering a hidden trap that looked like a blessing on the surface. And every drop of pain you endured in secret was being gathered and placed into a sacred gold vessel right before my throne. Hear me clearly right now, because your story does not end in this valley of exhaustion. The painful season of carrying everything on your weak shoulders is being brought to a complete close today. You have reached the absolute end of human effort, and that means my divine power is stepping in to take over the battle. Stay right here with me, for I am about to turn your dry desert into a gushing river of provision. Listen to me carefully right now, my child. I want to change the way you look at your wilderness season forever. You thought my silence meant that I was absent or angry with you. But I am telling you today that my silence was actually the ultimate mark of my trust in your spirit. When a craftsman works on a simple wooden box, the workshop is full of loud noises and constant chatter. But when he turns his hands to polish a priceless diamond, the entire room becomes completely silent. He leans in close to the stone. He watches every single angle with absolute focus, and he does not say a word because his whole heart is centered on the precious creation right before his eyes. That is exactly what was happening in your life during those long, silent months. I did not turn my back on your soul for a single second. I was leaning in close to your heart, watching every fiery trial separate the pure gold from the dross that was holding you back. You were not being ignored in that dark room, but you were being refined into something truly majestic. Think about a loving father and his growing children. He watches them mature over time. When his child is very young, the father speaks constantly to give instructions every single minute. But when the child grows strong and wise through practice, the father steps back in quiet confidence because he knows his child carries the inner strength to pass the test. My silence was not a sign of abandonment or cold indifference toward your pain. My silence was my silent vote of confidence in the spiritual endurance I placed deep inside you. I knew you would not abandon your faith when the path grew dark. I knew you would keep standing even when you had no emotional feelings to rely on. Now let us speak directly about the gift. It felt so terribly delayed in your life. You asked why the promised blessing took so many years to arrive at your front door. You wondered if heaven simply ran out of resources for your family. But heaven never runs out of provision, and no human enemy has the power to cancel what I wrote for your destiny. The real truth is simple. I held back the manifestation. Your vessel was not large enough yet to carry it safely. Imagine pouring a surging river into a fragile glass cup sitting on a table. The glass would shatter instantly into 1,000 pieces, and the precious water would be wasted on the dry ground. If I had handed you this great financial breakthrough 2 years ago, the sudden weight of it would have destroyed your inner peace. You would have been consumed by constant fear of losing it all. You would be overwhelmed by greedy people taking advantage of you, and you would fall into subtle traps that you were not yet equipped to see. I loved your soul too much to let my own blessing destroy your future. I refused to give you an early harvest that would turn into a heavy burden because your spiritual foundation was still soft. So I allowed the cold winds of hardship to blow against your walls. This was not done to tear you down. It was done to test every joint and strengthen every pillar of your character. Every time a door slammed shut in your face, your capacity was being stretched wider. Every time you walked through a lonely night with tears running down your cheeks, your ability to hold my glory was being expanded. You felt like you were falling apart into small pieces, but I was actually breaking open your human limits so you could contain the massive inheritance standing right before you. Every hard trial was a divine excavation, digging deep foundations inside your heart. A small house needs only a shallow foundation, but a grand palace requires deep digging into the solid rock below. The longer the digging process took, the higher the structure of your destiny will rise when the blessing is unveiled. Look closely at who you have become through this long process. You are no longer that naive person who collapsed at the first sign of unexpected trouble. You have developed deep roots of spiritual endurance. You have wise eyes to discern good motives from bad ones. And you carry a humble heart that knows how to give glory back to heaven when the harvest arrives. You are finally ready to step into your inheritance. I prepared this portion for you before the world was made. The delay was never a permanent denial, my beloved child. It was my sovereign protection holding you steady until your inner vessel matched the immense magnitude of your assignment. The stretching season is now officially complete in the spiritual realm. The container of your soul is wide enough to hold the vast abundance I could not wait to give you. Stay close to me as we step deeper into this encounter. The next layer of your breakthrough is opening right now. Now let me open your eyes to the secret test you passed without even knowing it. You walked through a scorching furnace over these past few years. The flames were hot, and the smoke filled your eyes until you could hardly see your next step. And every time you thought the heat was finally turning down, another wave of intense pressure hit your fragile heart. You wondered why the heat was so unbearable day after day. You felt like you were being punished for things you did not do. You asked why others walked through smooth green fields while your feet were burning on red-hot coals. But I need you to understand today that the fire was never sent to destroy your life, my child. A master refiner does not place his precious gold into the crucible to burn it to ashes. He sets it directly over the blazing white flames for a very specific purpose. He wants to separate the pure gold from the cheap impurities that were mixed deep inside it. And while the furnace roars, he does not walk away to leave the metal unattended. He sits right beside the hot fire. He leans over the melting pot with total focus and gentle hands. He watches every single bubble that rises to the surface as the heat does its deep cleansing work. And he stays right there until the dross burns away completely and he can see his own face clearly reflected in the liquid gold. That is exactly what I was doing while you were weeping in that furnace. I sat beside you through every scorching hour of your trials. I watched the heat melt away your self-reliance, your unhealthy dependencies, and your hidden fears. And I kept my eye on the temperature every single second to make sure the flames would not burn a single hair on your head. You thought you were falling apart into useless dust during those painful months. You looked at your wounded heart and believed that you were completely ruined by the struggle. But hear my voice clearly today. You were not being broken down in that furnace, my child. You were being broken open for a divine purpose. Think of a precious alabaster jar filled with fragrant oil that has been sealed tight for years. As long as the jar remains whole and unbroken, no one in the room can smell the rich perfume inside. The jar must be broken open before the sweet aroma can fill the entire house and bring joy to everyone standing nearby. You were that sealed alabaster jar. For a long season, you kept your true gifts, your deep empathy, and your spiritual authority locked away inside your fragile, human shell. You relied on your own natural talents and your own clever plans to survive. So I permitted the hard hammer of circumstances to strike against your outer walls. When those hard hits landed on your soul, it felt like your life was coming to an end. You felt shattered into pieces. You felt completely exposed to the cold wind. And as your outer defenses broke apart, the sacred oil I poured into your spirit before you were born began to pour out freely into the atmosphere. The sweet fragrance of your endurance filled the heavens and moved my heart. Look at what came out of your brokenness. Instead of becoming bitter, you became softer and more compassionate toward others who suffer. Instead of seeking revenge against those who hurt you, you chose mercy and silent forgiveness. You proved that what surrounds you does not get to decide what comes out of your spirit. You passed the hardest test with honors, my precious child. The enemy believed that the furnace would make you curse my name and walk away from your faith. But you held on with trembling hands and tears on your face, refusing to surrender your integrity. That was not weakness on your part. That was holy endurance at its highest level. The dross of fear, pride, and self-doubt has been burned away completely in the heat. What remains in your hands today is pure, refined gold that cannot be corrupted by the troubles of this world. You carry a spiritual weight and a quiet authority that only comes from surviving the furnace. The furnace door is swinging wide open right now. The long season of intense refining is officially finished for your soul. You are stepping out of the fire with no smell of smoke on your clothes and no burn marks on your skin. And the hard fire of yesterday was simply the divine setup for the royal honor of today. Do not look back at the furnace with dread or sadness anymore. Every scar on your heart is no longer a mark of shame, but a holy medal of courage. You proved your loyalty in the dark when no one was watching. And because you remained faithful in the fire, I am placing a crown of beauty upon your head right now. Take a deep breath and let the relief wash through your weary mind. The season of burning is behind you, and the season of receiving is standing right in front of your face. Stay close to my voice as we move into the next part of this encounter, because your true royal identity is about to be restored in full view of those who doubted you. Listen to me very carefully right now. The time has come to completely strip away every counterfeit label the world placed upon your name. For years, the enemy fed your mind with quiet lies. He told you that you were broken, useless, and forever marked by your past mistakes. And every time you tried to step forward in faith, those false words pulled you right back into the dark shadow of shame. I am dismantling every single one of those fake labels right now in my presence. You are not a failure because a business crashed or a relationship fell apart. You are not damaged goods just because you carry scars from the battles you survived. Those painful experiences were meant to shape your endurance, but they do not have the power to define who you truly are in my kingdom. Look up at me right now and hear your true identity spoken directly into your spirit. You are a royal heir to the kingdom of heaven. You were handpicked and set apart before the foundations of the world were laid, and the royal blood of my promise flows directly through your veins, giving you divine authority over every scheme of darkness that tries to stop your progress. Stop defining yourself by the smallness of what you lost in your deepest valley. You are no longer a helpless victim struggling to survive the storm. You are a mighty spiritual warrior standing unbroken in my strength. I am placing a fresh mantle of honor upon your shoulders today, and no human voice will ever be able to strip it away from you again. You are my anointed vessel, built to carry my power into places that have known only darkness. The world tried to categorize you as weak because you chose mercy over conflict and silence over bitter arguments. But in my kingdom, gentleness under control is the highest form of strength. You proved that you possess the royal character required to steward great wealth and influence. Now I must address the painful vacancies in your life that broke your heart so deeply. You wept in secret when certain friends and partners walked away from you right when you needed them most. You wondered why your loyalty was met with sudden betrayal and cold distance. You asked what you did wrong to make people you loved turn their backs on you without a second thought. I saw the deep ache in your soul when those doors of relationship slammed shut. You felt discarded and unloved in those lonely moments. But I need you to understand today that their departure was not your failure, my beloved child. Their departure was my active, loving hand pruning your life to protect the massive blessing that stands directly ahead of you. When a master gardener steps into his vineyard, he carries sharp pruning shears in his hand. He looks at healthy green branches and cuts them away deliberately. He does not cut them out of anger or hatred toward the branch. He cuts them away because he knows those branches are consuming vital strength that belongs to the coming harvest of rich fruit. Some of the people you loved were never designed to travel into your next chapter. They were only appointed for a single short season of your journey. If I had allowed them to remain in your inner circle, the smallness of their vision would have suffocated the massive dream I placed inside your heart. They loved the old version of you that stayed dependent on their approval. They could not handle the growing light and spiritual authority rising inside your soul. The moment I began to elevate your life in the unseen realm, a silent spirit of envy took root in their hearts. If they stayed near you during this next season of overflow, they would have poisoned the very gift I am placing into your hands today. I removed them to protect you from their subtle toxicity and hidden resentment. I cleared the room around you, because where I am taking you requires a completely different kind of company. Do not waste another tear longing for people who were willing to leave you in the dust. Release them completely from your heart, for I am replacing them with divine connections that will honor what you carry. The old closed doors and lost opportunities were also part of this divine clearing process. You mourned over business ideas that failed and open doors that suddenly closed in your face. But those opportunities were too small for your destiny. If you had succeeded in those lesser places, you would have settled for comfort and missed the massive inheritance prepared for your lineage. The season of shrinking back to make uncomfortable people feel secure is officially over. Step boldly into the full light of your true royal calling, for you carry an anointing that will shatter generational curses. Your hands are clean, your spirit is refined, and your true royal identity is fully restored in my sight. The pruning season is finished, and the cleared branches of your life are ready to burst forth with fruit that lasts forever. You no longer need to prove your worth to anyone on this earth, because heaven has already validated your assignment. Stay close to my voice right now, my child, because the long-awaited climax of your breakthrough is happening at this very second. The waiting is over. Look up right now, my beloved child, for the atmosphere above your head is opening with divine authority. The heavy clouds of delay and confusion are parting right before your eyes. I am stepping down into your circumstance today, not with soft words, but with royal power that shatters every ancient chain that kept you bound in the dark. I decree over your life at this exact instant that the first seal of darkness is shattered forever. This was the seal of financial blockage and artificial lack that held back your hard work for years. Every invisible barrier that blocked your funds, every closed door that denied your loans, and every scheme that drained your bank account is completely destroyed by my word right now. You will no longer live as a slave to debt or survive on leftover bread. The spirit of poverty that stalked your family line for generations is losing its grip on your home right now. And where there was empty dryness, a surging tide of unexpected provision is overflowing into your hands because you proved your faithfulness when you had nothing left to give. I am breaking the generational cycles of struggle that held your parents and grandparents in captivity. What was denied to them will be handed to you in full measure. Your lineage will remember this day as the turning point where the curse was broken forever and replaced with an unshakable inheritance of royal abundance. Listen to the sound of the second seal breaking into dust right now. This was the seal of mental anxiety, sleepless nights, and constant fear that tormented your peaceful sleep. The heavy fog that clouded your mind and made your heart race with panic is lifting completely away from your spirit. I am replacing that restless weight with a profound peace that passes all human understanding. No longer will you wake up with dread heavy on your chest every single morning. The spirit of fear that whispered lies into your quiet hours is completely silenced by my presence today. You will sleep in deep, undisturbed rest, knowing that my angels encompass your home on every side and guard your spirit from every attack of the enemy. Your mind is being restored to divine order right at this second. The overthinking, the constant racing thoughts, and the fear of sudden calamity are being washed away by my spirit. You will walk through your day with a calm mind, sharp clarity, and a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken by the news of this world. And now, see the third seal crack open with unstoppable power before your face. This was the seal of isolation, relational heartbreak, and bitter betrayal that left your soul feeling rejected and lonely. The painful wounds inflicted by people you trusted are being healed right now, and the cold loneliness that defined your recent seasons is coming to a permanent end. I am surrounding you with loyal hearts and divine connections that will honor the royal mantle you carry. The 3 seals that held your destiny in a dark cage are completely gone, and now, I unseal the great royal gift of provision that I could not wait to give to you. This is the inheritance written in eternity before you were ever born. This gift is not merely money or material things that fade away with time. It is a complete restoration of your joy, an abundance of physical health, and an overflowing reservoir of resources that will bless your children and your children's children. It is the unearned favor that opens royal doors before you, without you needing to strive or beg for approval. Speak with authority into the atmosphere right now. Say it out loud with a firm heart. I am a royal heir, and I receive my divine gift today. Feel those bold words resonate deep inside your soul and lock this shift into the unseen realm forever. What was held back in secret is now released in full measure directly into your open hands. Every curse spoken against your name is turning into a double blessing right now. The enemies who watched you fall in the valley will soon sit in silence and watch you feast at my table of honor. You are stepping into a season where answered prayers will overtake you before you even finish speaking them. The tide has turned completely in your favor. Look at your life through eyes of faith right now. The dry valley where you wept in secret is springing forth with living water. You will no longer measure your life by scarcity, but by the endless supply of my heavenly kingdom. Every opportunity that was stolen from you is returning back to your hands with compound interest. The seal is broken, the gift is unveiled, and your breakthrough is officially established in my sight today. You carry the key to your harvest, and no dark force in heaven or on earth can stop what I have released over your destiny in this holy moment. Stay steadfast with me, my child, for I am about to show you how to receive it in full. Now that your hands are filled with my promise and your royal identity is restored, I require one simple action of prophetic obedience from you. Look down at your physical hands right now. For many long years, you have held them tightly closed in a clenched fist out of deep fear, anxiety, and survival instinct. You held tight to your small supply, your last bit of energy, and your fragile dignity. You felt that if you unclenched your fingers for even a second, the harsh world would steal everything you had left. You operated from a spirit of scarcity and panic, always bracing for the next disaster. But hear my voice clearly today, my child. A clenched fist cannot receive anything new from heaven. When your hands are tightly balled up in fear, you may keep the small portion you have, but you completely lock yourself out of the surging flood of my royal abundance. A clenched fist holds on to fear, but a royal heir walks through life with an open hand. An open hand is not a sign of weakness or helpless surrender to the world. An open hand is the ultimate expression of unshakable faith and royal authority. When you open your hands before me, you are telling the unseen realm that you no longer rely on your weak human striving, but on the unlimited reservoirs of the King of Kings. I am calling you to unbind your fingers right at this exact moment in my presence. Release the tight knot of panic and the desperate need to control every outcome. Open your physical hands right now where you are sitting or standing, and lift them gently toward heaven as an act of holy surrender. Feel the heavy tension completely melting away from your wrists and shoulders. As an act of prophetic activation today, I am asking you to lay a seed of faith upon the stone altar of this calling. Do not hold back out of fear of tomorrow. When you release a seed in faith, that seed does not leave your life forever. It leaves your hand for a brief moment, but it moves directly ahead into your future to produce a 100-fold harvest. Your seed is a prophetic decree that breaks the final seal over your financial supply. It proves to the adversary that you no longer belong to the kingdom of lack and fear. By placing your seed upon the altar today, you are declaring that you trust my promise more than you trust the cold reports of this world. Listen to me very carefully right now. I do not ask for your seed because heaven is poor, or because I need your earthly wealth. Everything in heaven and on earth already belongs to my hand. I ask for your seed because I need a point of contact to activate the ancient law of the harvest in your life. A seed planted in fertile soil is the only thing that has the power to multiply back into your hands. Place a portion of your supply upon the stone altar of this work right now. Open your hand, release your trust, and watch how heaven responds to a faith that dares to step out of the boat. What you release today in obedience will unlock the deep reservoirs of provision that were reserved specifically for your name and your family line. Do not let the enemy whisper that you cannot afford to act in faith today. That voice is a deceitful trap designed to keep you trapped in the same loop of struggle for another year. The truth is that you cannot afford to stay with a clenched fist when the floodgates of heaven are bursting open directly over your head. Say out loud right now with a bold and confident voice, I walk with an open hand, and I release my seed into my harvest. Inscribe those powerful words in the comments right now to seal this spiritual covenant in full view of heaven and earth. Let your comment stand as a permanent memorial that you chose faith over fear on this decisive day. Feel the heavy chains of financial panic shattering into pieces as you make this declaration. The spirit of lack is fleeing from your home right now, and the spirit of royal supply is moving into your living room. You are stepping out of the dry desert of survival and stepping into the wide open country of supernatural overflow. Your act of obedience today is locking in every blessing that was declared over your life during this holy encounter. You have passed from being an exhausted giver who bled in secret to a royal heir who stewards great abundance with peace and authority. Hold your head high, for your hands are open and your harvest is standing right at your front door. Close your eyes right now and take a slow, deep breath. Let the heavy air leave your lungs completely. Feel the stillness of my presence filling the room around you at this exact instant. And as you release the last bit of tension sitting in your neck, know that the long battle you fought in secret is officially over today. The peace you searched for has arrived. You do not need to stay awake tonight worrying about tomorrow. You do not need to run endless fearful scenarios through your mind. You do not need to try to fix what was broken in your past. And while the rest of the world hustles in anxious panic, you can lean back into my arms because your future is completely secure in my hands. You can let go now. You can rest. The heavy mantle of survival is being lifted off your weary shoulders forever. For years you felt like you were swimming against a rising tide with exhausted arms. You felt responsible for keeping everyone else afloat while your own spirit was drowning. But I am stepping into your place today, and I am taking full command of every detail of your story. Let us pray together right now. We will seal everything that was awakened in your spirit today. Father, I lift my precious child before your throne of grace in this holy hour. Place a royal seal over their mind, their heart, and their household today, and let every ancient chain of delay, financial panic, and emotional exhaustion be shattered by your authority right now. I decree that the royal gift of provision and deep peace is permanently locked over their life. Let your angels form an impenetrable wall of holy fire around their dwelling tonight. Protect their mind from fear and while they sleep in sweet tranquility, let your Holy Spirit work in the unseen realm to align every resource they need for tomorrow. What you establish today can never be undone. Now hear this vital instruction for the days ahead, my beloved child. Keep this sacred shift quiet in your heart for a season. Do not rush out to explain what happened here to people who are still living in worldly cynicism. When a fragile seed is first planted in dark soil, it requires quiet darkness and protection to grow deep roots before it breaks through the earth. Do not expose your fresh seed to the cold wind of human doubt too early. Their skepticism will try to steal your confidence before the root takes hold in dark soil. You do not need the approval of cynical people to validate what heaven has already established in your soul. Let your harvest grow in silent authority, and let the fruit speak for itself when the right season arrives. Protect your spiritual environment with great wisdom in this coming week. Guard your ears from toxic gossip and bitter words. Guard your eyes from fearful news that tries to bring back your old anxiety. And whenever a subtle thought of worry tries to enter your mind, remind yourself that you are a royal heir whose battle has already been won. Do not allow the enemy to whisper lies when you wake up tomorrow morning. He will try to tell you that nothing changed. He will say your breakthrough was just a passing feeling. But you must hold fast to the truth you received today, because the shift in the unseen realm is real, and your royal inheritance is moving toward you with unstoppable momentum. Look at how far you have come through the wilderness. The tears you shed in the midnight hours were not wasted. They were collected in golden jars before my throne. You entered this furnace feeling exhausted and broken, but you are stepping out as refined gold that shines with royal dignity and double honor in this coming season. A profound quietness is settling over your spirit at this very moment. Feel the warm, gentle wave of my love washing over your mind. Every lingering ache from your past trials is dissolving into complete nothingness. And as you rest your weary head on your pillow tonight, know that I am holding your hand through every single second of the dark hours. You are completely safe in my presence. You are cherished beyond all human measurement. No scheme of darkness can strip away the blessing that was unveiled over your destiny today. Walk with your head lifted high tomorrow, for you carry the mantle of my royal favor wherever your feet may tread in this world. I am placing my peace over your home tonight. The conflicts that brought tension to your household are dissolving by my grace. The financial strain that caused sleepless nights is giving way to steady provision. And as you walk through your rooms tomorrow morning, you will see my goodness flowing into your family in ways that leave you filled with quiet wonder and deep gratitude. Sleep tonight in total undisturbed tranquility. Let your body heal from the long years of physical stress. Let your mind rest deeply in my promises. And as you wake up to the morning light, step forward into your day with a calm heart that knows the victory is already secured. Your wilderness season is behind you forever. Express your final agreement by typing Amen in the comments below to seal this sacred covenant today. Check the pinned message below if you desire to stay connected with our faithful community. Go forward now in my deep peace. The God who brought you through the fire walks with you into your harvest. Peace, be still.